Alright, guys, so it's time to give our grades for week 2 of the NFL season for the Cincinnati Bengals. Week 1 was absolutely horrendous. If you guys did not watch last week's game, I'm going to guess 99% of you guys did. But if you didn't, don't watch it. Just don't watch it. It was awful. Actually, I recommend for this week's game, just skip the first half and watch the second half. And you're probably going to be more confident in this team moving forward in the second half of this, game today, well, yesterday actually, with how bad that first half yesterday looked, but also how bad week 1 was. So week 1, we got an F minus for offense. It was absolutely horrendous. It was atrocious. Defense was B. Not really anything to complain about with them. They played a great first half, a little bit not the best second half, but still, there was no reason to complain about them. They played 99.9% of the time on the field. And then special teams was a D minus. We didn't have any kick or punt returns in week 1. We just simply had, you know, I want to say average punts, but they're not average punts because Robin struggled a lot in the weather. He had I think he averaged around 37 to 40 yards per punt, which is really horrendous, especially when you're trying to play the field battle game. It's not good. So yes, week 1 was not the greatest, right? Okay, well, how about week 2? When we played yesterday, I would say the first half of that game, for offense, we got an F. We got an F. We had 42 yards in that game on the first half. Again, keep in mind the first half. 42 yards in the first half of that game. We ran the ball a little bit. We had a couple good passes to Tyler Boyd. We tried to do way too many screen passes. We didn't throw the ball 60 yards down the field every single down. I'll give that a plus. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to say F. I'm going to say D. I'll give him a D for offense in the first half. Because overall wise, we did get a couple first downs. We did move the ball. And before halftime there, we did go down the field and kick a field goal. So I'll give them a D for the first half for offense. Second half, honestly, other than the interception, we played almost perfect in the second half. I give us a B in the second half. We threw 180 yards. We had a touchdown. We had one interception. Obviously, the interception killed us. But we played pretty much lights out football in the second half when it comes to our offense. We played great. Amazing. So overall grade for offense in this week 2 game, because of how bad the first half was, being a D, it brings down our grade from a B second half to around a C. Around an average of C, maybe a C minus. I'm just going to put a C. Probably should have been a C minus, but that's okay. We got a yellow, nothing too crazy. It's better than last week, and again, this is why, you got to take a look at what last week was and what this week was, right? It's better. Let's talk about our defense. Our defense in this game, they definitely could not contain Lamar Jackson. He only had 36 yards rushing, but he had those 36 yards on the most critical stops that we needed over and over and over again. They allowed the crazy big catches by Zay Flowers in this game. They did, a couple stupid penalties. It wasn't a horrendous performance, but it definitely was not that great, right? They did play bend, don't break, which I liked. So I'm going to say first half, this defense, I'm going to give them a C minus. I think C minus in the first half is very reasonable with how they played in the first half. The second half, I'm going to give a C plus. Maybe a B minus. I'll probably give them a B minus, which gives our average to around a C plus. C plus for the game, and again, like I said, it isn't bad. They played good football. They definitely didn't play perfect, though. They played a lot better week 1 than they did week 2. But, it was an interesting defense throughout the game. We weren't able to get them off the field, right? They had 2 punts the whole entire game. 2 punts, guys. And surprisingly enough, they only made us punt the ball 3 times, which actually is kind of amazing. Because week 1, we punted the ball like 25 times. So it was definitely a little bit more week 1 than it was, in week 2, thankfully. Special teams. First half, great punts. Had an amazing return for a touchdown by Chuck Sizzle, our first touchdown of the year. Second half, nothing too crazy special. Like I said in the second. The first half, we had that field goal that was really good. Second half, we didn't have anything too crazy, but we only punted the ball 3 times. And they only punted it twice. And we didn't return any kickoffs or have any kickoff returns. So I can't really say anything special there. I guess for the most part with special teams in this, like how this game went, and all the things that we can take away from this game, I'm going to give them a solid just A. And I don't know if I should give them a B, but they returned the kickoff, which is an A, and they didn't really mess up any time during the game. Like, there was not one point in that game yesterday, where I was like, okay, that's the problem. Like, the special teams, I cannot believe we allowed that to happen. We can't believe we did this. Can't believe we did that. Not really. It was an A. It was a pretty decent, they got the job done, and they didn't mess up, and they scored a touchdown. So I'm going to give them an A. I'm going to give them an A+. Now, I'm gonna boost it up. Because they had that with touchdown. And if they don't get that touchdown in the first half, Chuck Sizzle, we go into halftime down 13-3. Zero momentum, zero confidence going into that second half. We're feeling like crap. We're feeling like we can't do it. We can't get it done. So that touchdown before halftime there, absolutely gem. Also, that Money Mac field goal was also gem too. So I give him an A+. I give him an A+. Again, offense C, C+ for defense, and A+ for special teams. Now, here's the problem/dilemma. Burrow re-injured his calf in this game. Talked about it in his press conference a little bit. He covered it, how, after that last touchdown he had that put us within 3 points of the game, he re-injured his calf. And it sucks. It really does. And if you saw him on the sideline, he looked like he was in absolute agony. He was in pain. Really bad pain. I don't know what this is going to mean moving forward, because he said that he's kind of taking it day by day at this moment in time. And again, he's not going to be 100% probably for the rest of the season, in all honesty. Because we're not going to sit him. We're not going to keep him out, and if we don't do that, he's not going to rest it. He's not going to be 100%. He did say in his press conference how, when your quarterback doesn't play the preseason, it's hard to have a quick start, right, to the season. And that's true. It is true. Now, again, we play the Rams next week. Then we play the Titans. Then we play the Cards. And then we play the Seahawks. I think it's Seahawks and Cards. One of the two. And then we have a bye week. So, for the next, 5 games, this should be somewhat of a very good run for us to be able to get, greens across the board here. We should go into, week 7 here, right? With a week 8? Rams, Titans, Cardinals, Seahawks. Week 7 bye, yeah. So, we should be able to go into this all with greens. This should all be greens the next couple weeks. Because these games are not that tough, right? These games are definitely, I'm going to say not that tough. A lot of them, you could consider them trap games. But we should be fine going into the next couple weeks here. I don't want to see any more Fs or Ds. Not when we're playing these opponents. After our bye week, then we play the 49ers. That's when we might see F or Ds come back. But for that, not acceptable. Guys, we will be fine. It's a long season. I mean, there's a lot of people jumping ship and like, whoa, I'm done with the Bengals. A lot of people saying they're done with the Bengals. This is all we've done so far. Look at how much we have. And this isn't even all of it. Look at that. So all the people are saying they're done with the Bengals and they're upset and, season's over. They can go have fun like another team. Because we have this whole entire year left. We will be fine. RELAX. relax. What's funny is Aaron Rodgers says that and now he's hurt. But peace out, guys.